don't know what day it is. It's time for me to do another little chat. Something that is heavy on me. And I feel like when you are going through things or stressing or whatever, you shouldn't internalize it. You shouldn't carry it. You gotta release it at some point, or else it will consume you. There was a time in my life years and years ago where I got so stressed that I had a mild stroke, and I vowed to myself that I wouldn't allow myself to get to that point again. Like, it was bad, and I didn't realize how stressed I was, because we're so busy going, like a wife, a mother, a woman, a lot of things. We just keep going. We keep, hustling, because that's the way that we subconsciously cope with stress. As women, we have to carry so much that a lot of people don't realize, some people don't value, some people can't appreciate, just the things to make the house run, the family run, the village run. We have to be the head and the brain of the machine, right? So how can we decompress without feeling bad? Because we have to fill our cup, and if we have to fill our cup, we have to say no to others. We have to stop being so available to others when we're trying to refill ourselves. How do we do that? How do we balance that? A lot of people, like, I've been told that I don't do much, or I don't contribute much. Well, if you took me out of the equation, there wouldn't be much to contribute to. And the reason why I say that is, we also have to give ourselves credit. We do not give ourselves enough credit. We just don't, because people's opinions, people's feelings and whatnot, right? And I'm a true believer that we all need each other. Somebody needs somebody. As much as we walk around saying, I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need you, that's a learned behavior. And unfortunately, we live in a time when social media is big, it's huge, and that's the way of life now. And, the opinions of others is running rapid with no filter, no control on social media. If you got a camera, a phone nowadays, people will make a video about their opinion, and sometimes they're loud and wrong, and most of the time they're speaking from their own trauma, whether it be childhood or whatever the case is, how they were raised, the family they come from. They're speaking from their own trauma, and they get the audience who can relate and resonate with what they're saying, and that is like poison, right? The analogy of, if you get one bad apple, you leave it in a bunch, it'll start to rot the rest of them. That is the same thing. I feel like people do not take advantage of counseling, therapy. Yeah, therapy can be expensive, but check into your insurance, because sometimes insurance covers it and we don't even know it. You got to understand your insurance. I think most people that need therapy are the ones who are walking around spreading their opinions, their judgment, their hurt, their bitterness, their mommy issues, their daddy issues, their childhood trauma and issues, overcompensating in ways that they couldn't and shouldn't, because they are trying to recover something from their past. Well, baby, the past is the past. Now you must do better. And that does not look like you overcompensating in other ways to do better, because you could be causing more harm than you are helping anything. Now, I'm coming from a place where I know I'm not perfect. I have issues. I have problems. I'm continuously working on myself. I'm in a season of isolation. because I believe in any relationship that I have. Friendship. I don't care what title you hold in my life. You could be a parent, a niece, a child. You could be any title in my life. I believe in quality over quantity. I believe in respect. I believe in balance. I believe in us helping each other, and that doesn't mean that it has to always be equal, because people go through things and we don't realize that people are going through things because they're too afraid to share. They're too afraid to talk and they you know, because they're expecting judgment. They're expecting you to talk about them. They're expecting that conversation to go outside of whatever you two discussed. And we have to learn to be a safe space for anybody that comes into our life. And I'm not always a safe space. In fact, here lately, because I have experienced so much trauma, a ton of trauma in the last year, longer than that, but especially and particularly in the last year, I am not a safe space for a lot of people. I can give you what I can give you from the eye of a friend, from the eye of a sister, a woman, or someone who's been through it, but I cannot give you anything from clout or some type of recourse, some type of payment out of it. I can only give it to you out of love, and the delivery is not always perfect. What I'm going to say may not be perfect. It may not even be something that you want to hear, but it's what you should or need to hear. And you came to me knowing that you trust my value my opinion. So now I'm learning to not even give people my opinion, because you know, it's not about what I'm saying, it's about their level of comprehension or what their intentions are. Or, you know, it's a lot of in between the lines with people now, and that's annoying to me. So where do we, the strong ones, I don't want to be strong no more. You know what I mean? I want to have a safe space. I want to be able to say, you know what, you hurt me and I think that you need to change this, or, you know, these are my boundaries and my boundaries need to be respected, or you gotta go. Quality over quantity. I don't need 50 million friends. I have a lot of wonderful friends, great friends, been around, been with me for years. Some of them I just met, you know, wonderful friends. I have at least 8 people I can call right now if I'm in a crisis, and I know they would have my back, and I know that nobody would know about how and when they had my back. Do you know what type of value it is to be able to have, in this day and age, in 2024, to have that many people around you that you hold that type of value or have that type of value to you? It's scary and it's strange. We want to do better, but we can't, because we can't get along. There's always something. There's always that tit for tat. That's all. There's the phrase that I can't stand, I think it's so juvenile, is I'ma get my lick back. And what does that solve? What does it solve for you to keep going in this circle of, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, just to hurt somebody? Hurt people, and those are the scary ones. I always tell people I have no fears on this earth. The only thing that I'm really, you know, I get anxiety about is those who know everything. Because if you know everything, you can't learn anything. You know what I mean? Like, life is full of education, full of lessons, full of them. Until the day you die, you're going to be learning something if you're open to it. The biggest lesson is your integrity, how you handle situations. Have I always been perfect? No. I can name several situations where I'm like, oh, okay, you shouldn't have done that. But then I'm not afraid to apologize. And I've noticed in several instances where I've been required to apologize because of something that I've done, whether it was intentionally or unintentionally. I never have intentions to hurt or mislead anyone. Never do I have those intentions, which is why it hurts me that much more when I have hurt someone. When I have such a hard shell, but I'm so soft on the inside. And a lot of people don't know that. I will give you my last until you take my last. And then that's it. That's it. So when I apologize, it comes from a place of sincerity. It comes from my heart. And I mean that. But I notice that some people, those who really don't care for you, don't like you, have a hidden jealousy or agenda. They don't hear the apology because they always got a rebuttal. The apology should be, that's it. Either you accept it or you don't. But why are we still, hey, look, I did this wrong. This was not my intention. I stepped on your foot by accident. That wasn't my intention. But I did it. And I apologize. Do you want me to wipe your shoe off? Yo, but you didn't have to. You just need to watch me. Why are we doing this when I just apologized? Why are we going back and forth still? You could choose not to talk to me again, but that just tells me what your intentions are. You never had good intentions for me. You never really gave a matter about me. I'm trying not to cuss. You never really cared about me. Because I'm telling you, I stepped on your foot. And I didn't mean to step on your foot. I apologize. That'll never happen again. It was not intentionally done. It was not my intention. I apologize. Can we get past this? Can we move on? Is there anything that I could do to make this better? You just shouldn't. You just need to watch. Okay, you're right. I just need to watch how I'm walking and where I'm walking. Again, I apologize. And they're still going on and on and on. They don't give a damn about you. It ain't even about you, boo. Sometimes your light just, it shines in a way that people can't and won't ever understand, like, or love. And that's okay. That's okay. It's just it's your purpose and your passion. But when is enough enough? You know, going back to how much we carry. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a niece, I'm a cousin, I'm a friend, I'm an acquaintance. I may even be an enemy. As a wife, I have to make sure the inside of that household is ran, right? But extensions onto that is the house is clean. There's food in the kitchen. There may not be all the food that you want or like, but there's food in the kitchen. And I can go get what you want or like. And I probably have asked, what is it that you want, so that I can make it happen. Okay, I had to stop the video abruptly. And yes, my hair is different. But anyway, ignore those things. But like I said, if I've asked about, it's probably so that I can fulfill the request that I've asked of, right? And also as a wife, we consider the health and all of the things of our spouse. We take on all of the little idiocracies that they don't think about. They get up, they go to work, they provide, and that's in a lot of cases the gist of it. Well, I didn't know this, or I don't know that, or the making sure the little stuff that's in the house is there, is supplied, right? This is just a few things. As a mother, for the ones that have been blessed to be blessed with the opportunity to become a mom, we have to think about all of for example, I co-parent with my ex-husband with our children, and my boys live with my ex-husband. They live with their father. They're in a different state. We do not make a decision without communicating with each other. We have the best co-parenting relationship. Has not always been that way, but we also didn't have, if it was tumultuous, it wasn't tumultuous for long. But those kids come first. Even when we divorced, it was a clean divorce. We went to the courthouse together and filed the divorce. It was cut and dry and easy. We did not include the children in the divorce proceedings because the court wasn't there when we created the children. We make the best decisions for our children, not anybody else who don't even know our children, okay? With all that being said, my children live with him. And they live with him because I had to get out of their way. I can't teach boys how to be men. I can give them a lot of the things, but when it gets to a certain point, my hands are tied. I can't teach them how to be men. I can't give them that masculinity. And it was evident in my youngest son. So I was blessed. I could not have chosen a better father for my children. I was blessed in that arena. We just did not work well and get along as a married couple. I told him, it's your turn. But I didn't think about when the kids get older and they create friendships and routines and whatnot, and when, you know, I can't take them from that. Like, I can go and move them back at any time, but for me to do that is very selfish, because now you got to recreate a new life, new friends. You know, they have a whole village there. My family, we love each other, but we're not close like my ex-husband's family is. Like, everybody lives right there next to each other. If something happens, somebody can go get the kids. They've all gone to the same schools, elementary, junior high, and high school. My children have that same experience. I'm a military brat. I was changing school every year, every 2 years, every 3 years. You know, I've gone to several different elementary schools, several different junior high schools, and several different high schools. My children can't say the same. They might have gone to several different elementary schools, maybe 1 or 2 junior high, my oldest. But for the most part, 1 school for middle, 1 school for high school. It's consistent. And that's what kids need, a routine and consistency. And I got out of their way so that they can be provided that. And they were allowed to see us go through a divorce, work things out, you know, see that divorce not work out, or see the marriage not work out, see their parents go through a divorce, and see their parents still continue to work together for the betterment of them. So they're able to problem solve without the emotion, without the anger, without the bitterness, because their mother and father did it. And they saw us do it, and they still see how we joke, and we show concern, but, you know, we support one another when it comes to the children. Now, as a woman, what we carry, when that school has to call somebody about those kids, they call me first. They call me and their dad. And when they call me and their dad, I can't get there, you know, ASAP, because, you know, I'm in a different state. So if I can't get there, you know, I still get notified. I still get all the notifications that their dad gets, sometimes more. I still talk to the career counselors and all of that. The dad don't think about those things. I told their dad that their youngest boy needs to get on his email game and work on getting ready for college, like filling out grants and stuff like that. The father, he's military, so he's not thinking, you know, there's no discredit to him. He's just not thinking about that stuff. You know what I mean? When the oldest boy was aging out of his healthcare insurance, hey, there's certain things that we should get taken care of because he's aging out of that. He's not, you know, he never had, when we were married, it wasn't required of me to work, but I did. I could never be a stay-at-home wife. I could never be a stay-at-home woman. But it wasn't required for me to work. Best believe my children were well taken care of. The household well taken care of. Everything was taken care of at the house. You didn't have to think about those things. And when you're a military, you just think about what your responsibilities are, structured as a military person. So, you know, a lot of things that weren't considered, now it's like, okay, this is how you do this is how you do that. But it takes a lot of patience to go through the process of, hey, let's communicate so I can tell you how I will handle that or what you need to do. Prime example, most recently, so when we had our children, we made it a point to go and get them bank accounts with Navy Federal and USAA from the time we got their Social Security cards. And so our youngest son recently got a job, but I had been saying for a while, hey, go get his debit card for his bank so that he'd be able to access money that way instead of using like Cash App or whatever else everybody's using. It was as simple as calling Navy Federal to request it. So I told him, hey, you need to call this number to request a debit card for him. He wasn't thinking that's not something that he would have had to think about, like out of sight, out of mind, but we were able to communicate something that small for that. He has a job now, so his money's going to his account. We don't want to, we want him to spend, use his money, have access to his money, but there's a certain way that we want him to do that. And, he needs his debit card. We were able to work together, but hey, I had to keep getting on him to request that debit card, As a friend, acquaintance, or whatever niece, whatever, as a woman, I have to overthink and overcompensate for what somebody else might be going through, feeling, or thinking. I gotta carry that. And especially as a hairstylist. I'm not just a hairstylist, I'm a therapist, counselor, your diary, your bestie, sometimes your doctor. We talk about your health. I got a client who's been grieving since I've been doing her hair, and it's been years, and it's heavy. That energy is heavy. I have a client who is on dialysis and everything. When I met this woman, she was, her full self. She has, several different health issues. And the lady's hair was as long as my legs. And she came in, I hadn't seen her for a couple years. She was really, really sick. Hadn't seen her for a couple years. Maybe 80 pounds soaking wet. Grown woman, 80 pounds, who was beautiful woman, 80 pounds soaking wet. Broke my heart to cut her hair off because it was just breaking from all of the treatments and stuff that she's getting. I have to internalize that. I internalize all of the mothers who bring their teenagers into me, and they're problematic, because there's something that they're not being heard, or there's something they're missing in their life, and they see me as a safe place. So they'll come and talk to me and tell me things that, they may not be able to talk to their parents about. And I always say, if I feel like your parents need to know something, I'm going to tell them. I am going to tell them. If you are in danger, if you're doing something you're not supposed to do, I'm going to tell your parents. I'm going to talk to your parents. 99% of my young adult clients come in and talk to me about their life inconveniences. I gotta carry that. And then I gotta go home and carry that. And then I gotta mother and carry that. And then I gotta carry my mother and my siblings and my kids and I gotta carry the world. And that's not to take away from men and what they do, because Lord have mercy, I appreciate our men and I love men. But baby, when you don't appreciate us, when you don't see the value in us, don't tear us down. Don't tear us down, because we are already tearing ourselves down. So back to my main question, ladies, how do we decompress from the weight of the world? Because a lot of us are going through, and we are existing off of stress, anxiety, emotional trauma, relationship trauma, work trauma, financial trauma. Hell, I have a hard time even turning on the TV to watch like anything, because the news is always so bad. I like to be aware for my safety, because I am a woman and I'm by myself a lot. I have tools, but I'm by myself a lot. Okay, so I need to and desire to be aware of what's going on in my neighborhood and my surroundings and all of those things, so that I know what to look out for and how to react to things. But I'm finding it harder and harder to decompress from carrying all of that weight. I like to travel. I like to have fun. I can't even be myself right now because of stress and trauma. I walk around smiling, and I know me. I know what I'm going through and what I'm feeling. So when I see other, I smile like, hey, how you doing? You know, you all right? You need help with that? You know, I see people in the store, especially senior citizens, you okay today? You know, I'm checking and smiling, and just, if I see somebody with a scowl on their face, how you doing today? You know, sister, brother, friend, whatever. How you doing today? You know, because you never know how many lives you can save by doing just that. It's not that I'm friendly. It's not that I'm super friendly. It's that I see me in other people. I can look in somebody's eyes and see that they're going through. And I want to add to one more day of their life, because that's what I desire for me. But because I'm viewed and looked at as being so strong, it's rare that somebody would check on me or check into me. You know, like, it's rare. And I'm not that strong. You know what I mean? It's just that I have so much to live for. So now I'm trying to find ways to decompress and let stuff go and not carry stuff, and, you know, live in my purpose. I do a lot of Bible study, praying. I do a lot of exercising lately. I've been finding free things to do in Houston lately. Just trying to take advantage of life, because every day that I wake up, there's a whole lot of people that didn't get the same. They didn't get the same chance and opportunity. So y'all let me know. I've been rambling enough. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, or how y'all feel, or your suggestions, or, you know, like, let's talk, let's discuss this thing, because we need to have open dialogue about stuff like this. We need to work through these things. If you pay attention to the surroundings, everybody, especially since quarantine and COVID, people really have been going through. So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's discuss it. Let's find a village of people. Let's find some people and make them, you know, find our safe spaces in people where we can discuss and get through things. All right? So if you've gotten through the end of this video, thank you. Hopefully you found something that resonates with you, that you can relate to. I challenge you to pick one person and encourage them or pray for them for the rest of October. Thank you for listening, because thank you for listening. And until next time, y'all, like, subscribe, comment below, keep it positive. Love abounds. Remember that. Talk to y'all soon. See y'all in the next video.